For me, financial education slash financial literacy is not about learning how to collect as much money as you can so that you can buy as many trinkets and things as you possibly can. It's not about an ability to impress friends and family and people you don't even know on social media. It's not about falling in love with money. That's absolutely not what it's about. We know that the man who loves money will never have enough, according to the Bible. And we also, I'll add, in many cases, will do whatever to get more. So that's not what it's about for me. So I decided I wanted to sit down today and just kind of list the four things that are the four benefits of growing our financial education, learning more about how to manage our money. So here it is. Number one, direction. We all need directions in every facet of our lives. I can remember just a few short years ago, the night before we went on family vacation, I was usually the one at the printer printing out 50 pages from MapQuest because we were going somewhere we'd never been before. And most of those 50 pages were unnecessary. You know what I'm talking about. I know I'm not the only one. It's very much the same thing with our money. When we increase our education, we have direction. It provides direction. The research, the studies, surveys show that most people don't really have a plan for their money. They make it, they spend it, they may save a little bit if they have some left over at the end of the month. That's not really a plan. And there are a lot of us like that. So I'll stop there with number one, direction. Number two is closely related to number one, and that is with directions or instructions in hand, it minimizes our detours. It minimizes our detours. When you have a roadmap, it should tell you pretty much exactly where to go. If I were driving from Georgia to California and I suddenly took a 4 or 5 hour detour north, that would be a significant detour. And here's the thing, taking that detour would significantly lengthen the amount of time it takes for me to reach my destination, right? It's the same way with our personal finances. The person who has direction, who has a clear path, who has goals in mind that they want to achieve, that person will think twice about, for instance, financing a car for 7 or 8 years that you obviously can't afford. That is a detour. A person who has those instructions or those directions will think twice about high interest debt. That is a detour. That does not allow us to get to where we want to get. Say your goal is to retire at 60. Just pull that out the top of my head. If you said you wanted to retire at 60 years old, those two things I just mentioned, that car, high interest debt, financing a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need, those are detours that keep us from reaching our goals every time. So that's number two. The number three reason for improving or increasing our financial education is there is so much going on in the world today that causes people stress. So much going on. And I think one of the real important reasons to kind of get a handle on our finances as best we can is to do what we can to alleviate or eliminate money as one of those stressors. We know that money issues is one of the primary causes of people being stressed out, depressed, can't sleep at night, appetite is waning, all those things we know. So the third reason is critical. It allows us to do what we can to help ourselves, quite frankly, from an emotional standpoint. Okay, that's number three. Number 4 is one that's near and dear to my heart. If we do those first 3, we get ourselves in a better situation. We then put ourselves in a situation where we can be a blessing to others. You know, when you're on that airline, on that airplane, and they're giving instructions and they're talking about the oxygen mask that's going to pop down out of the ceiling, and one of the main things they say over and over again is, if you're with a child, make sure you put your oxygen mask on first. Then you can help somebody else. So the 4th reason to improve your financial education is to put yourself in a situation where you can be a blessing to someone else, where you can buy the groceries of the family in front of you, family of 6 who's on hard times. You can be that person to be a blessing to them. You can be a person to come to the rescue of that family member or that friend that is in a real bind, and you've done so well that you can be the person to say, hey man, relax, take it easy. Here's $500. Don't worry about it. I'm happy I can do it. That is another reason for us as individuals to increase or improve our financial education. Hey, this money thing is not going to get better if we don't give it some attention. It's just not going to happen. So those are my 4 reasons that I think it's critically important that we improve our financial literacy. Be blessed.